Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take source material, break it down, and give you the essential intelligence so you get the full picture without, all the noise.
And today, we're diving into the future of a true F1 legend, Fernando Alonso. We're looking at insights from the analysis channel, the DRS zone.
That's right. They put together a really interesting piece based on recent Aston Martin interviews with Alonso himself. We're talking 2026 plans, maybe beyond.
It's fascinating stuff. It's not just about contracts. It's digging into the mindset of a double world champion, looking at maybe the end of his career. Or perhaps, just maybe, the start of one last big chapter.
Oh, okay, so let's get into it. Our mission here is to figure out this paradox Alonso's presented. He hinted he might actually stop racing if he gets the competitive car he's always wanted.
Which sounds completely backwards.
Exactly. It goes against everything we think we know about him. So we need to pin down what the real condition for retirement is, and honestly, if that competitive fire of his would ever let him walk away right when things get good.
It really is a strange equation he's set up.
Yeah.
So let's start right there. What exactly did he say in that Aston Martin interview that got everyone talking? What was the bombshell for 2026?
Okay, so the core statement, the one that feels totally upside down, is this. If we are competitive, there is a higher possibility that I will stop running beyond 2026.
Wow, so success equals maybe stopping.
Yeah. He basically said if he finally gets that fast car, the one he's chased for so long across, so many teams, that would be a very good moment to close my career.
It implies the chase is almost as important as the result. Like, proving he can still perform in a top car is the mission. And once that's done, maybe the mission's complete.
But then there's the flip side, the part that sounds much more like the Alonso we know. What keeps him going?
Yeah. That's the competitive animal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He also said, if we are not competitive, it will be very difficult to surrender without trying again.
So failure means keep pushing. Success means maybe step back.
Pretty much. He won't quit on a project that's still trying to get there. But if it succeeds, then he can leave, head held high. It's an unusual framing, definitely.
And the analysis really hammered home that this isn't just about his personal goals anymore. It's tied completely to Aston Martin's success.
Absolutely. He's all in. He seems genuinely convinced they will be a winning team. The only question in his mind is when. He used the phrase, savor the success of the Aston Martin project.
Like he helped build it, so he wants to be there for the payoff.
Exactly. Not just a driver for hire. He sees himself as part of the foundation.
Which brings us to 2026. Why is that the magic year? Why not push hard now in 2025?
Well, he seems quite realistic about the current gap, especially to, say, Red Bull. Under the current rules, catching up requires a monumental effort, maybe too much.
Burning too much energy for maybe not enough gain right now?
Right. So 2026, with the new regulations, that's the reset button. He called it the opportunity.
Everything gets shuffled. Engine rules change, chassis rules change.
Precisely. His quote was something like, everything will reset in some way, and then it is up to us to do better than others. It's a clean slate. If Aston Martin gets it right, he gets the car he wants.
And if they don't?
Then he sticks around to try again because he won't leave the job half done. That's the commitment.
Okay, that's the logic he's putting out there. But let's be real. Alonso and retirement talk. There's history here, isn't there? A lot of history.
Oh, absolutely. We should definitely take all this with a, let's say, generous pinch of salt. We're talking about someone who recently marked 20 years since his first F1 title, Brazil 2005.
20 years. He's raced against drivers whose fathers he probably raced against.
Almost. And his track record on retirement predictions. Well, it's not exactly stellar.
The analysis pointed out he once said he wouldn't race past 30. He debuted at 19.
And here he is, still going strong, 24 years later, minus those couple of years he went off to do other things.
And the Ferrari comment. That going there was the peak. He'd retire after that.
Yep. Said that. Didn't happen. Then McLaren again, Alpine, now Aston Martin. He even technically did retire from F1 for 2 seasons.
Only to come back seemingly more motivated than ever. It's like a pattern.
It really is. So why the contradictions? Is it just him keeping options open? A negotiation tactic? Or something deeper?
Maybe a bit of both. Keep the teams guessing, keep himself hungry.
I think that's likely. Treating each year like it could be the last probably keeps him incredibly focused. But then that competitive instinct just overrides everything else when the time comes.
The DRS zone analysis highlighted just how contradictory he can be even within a single year. Look at 2024.
Oh yeah, that timeline was wild. January, not the time to think about retirement. Okay.
Then, February, like a month later,
Huh?
he treats every year as potentially his last. Total opposite.
And then fast forward to December of that same year, and he's already saying he's not ruling out continuing beyond 2026.
So he covers all the bases. He might start, he might not, maybe later. It keeps everyone guessing.
Which means we probably shouldn't focus too much on the talk. We need to look at the action, his performance. What are his own benchmarks?
Okay, so beyond the car's speed, what's the internal measure he uses?
The big one, the one he keeps coming back to, is his own level relative to his teammate.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be his personal honesty check.
And what's the threshold he set for himself? When does he decide it's time?
He's been pretty blunt about it over the years. If he ever feels he's not performing at his absolute peak, not extracting everything from the car, he'll be the first one to, quote, raise his hand and say goodbye.
He trusts his own gut feeling more than anyone else's opinion.
Seems that way. He believes he'll know when the time comes.
Well, based on the evidence presented in the analysis, that time is definitely not now.
Not even close. The performance gap to Lance Stroll is significant and consistent. The source material noted Stroll hasn't actually outqualified him in, what, over a year?
Wow. So even with some bad luck or car issues, his underlying pace is still top tier.
Absolutely. He's still finding performance where maybe others wouldn't. So that internal check is flashing green. Keep going.
Okay, which brings us back to the external factor. The car. And this is where the paradox gets really tricky. What does competitive actually mean to a double world champion with 32 wins?
Exactly. Is a 2023 style car, regular podiums, maybe snagging a win here or there, is that enough success for him to say, okay, done?
Or would getting that taste of being near the front just reignite that fire even more? The analysis called it the volcano inside.
That feels more plausible, doesn't it? Imagine Aston Martin gives him a car genuinely capable of fighting for wins week in, week out.
Yeah.
Or even a title shot.
Could he really walk away then? Before finishing the job, before trying for that third title? It feels like it contradicts his entire reason for being there, for pushing Aston Martin forward.
Their title has been the ghost he's been chasing for, what, nearly 2 decades now?
Yeah.
To get a car capable of delivering it and then just stop.
It seems impossible. That volcano analogy feels right. He's never happy with 5th or 6th. Winning is the only goal. Why quit when you finally have the tools?
And it seems a fan see it that way, too. DRS Zone mentioned a poll they ran.
Yeah, that was interesting. What were the numbers?
Something like 76% of viewers said they believe he would not retire if he actually had a properly competitive car.
The fans know him. They know that spirit. You don't put in all that work just to walk away from the prize.
So, okay, if he's probably not leaving voluntarily if the car is good, the only other way out is if Aston Martin decides they need someone else for that post-2026 era.
Right. If they think they can find an upgrade, or at least an equal replacement, who maybe fits a longer-term vision, but who?
That's the multi-million-dollar question. The analysis brought up the obvious benchmark.
Max Verstappen, the ultimate prize. But realistically, if he leaves Red Bull, Mercedes seems the likely destination around 2027, right?
That's the rumor mill, yeah. Which then potentially frees up George Russell.
Okay, Russell. Young, incredibly fast, proven race winner. Ticks a lot of boxes.
He does, but the analysis raised a really critical point. Fighting for occasional wins is one thing. Fighting for a world championship week after week under immense pressure, that's a different beast entirely, mentally.
And Russell hasn't really faced that sustained pressure cooker yet. We've seen other super talented drivers wobble when that championship spotlight hits them full on. Lando Norris was mentioned.
Yeah, Lando was seen as bulletproof until the title fight pressure really started to bite. It shows that ultimate mental resilience is kind of an unknown quantity until you're truly tested.
And Russell himself isn't immune to high-pressure mistakes. Singapore 2023.
Exactly. Crashing from a potential winning position right at the end. It shows that even the best can be vulnerable when the stakes are highest. You need, as the analysis put it, a head of iron.
So looking ahead to 2027, Aston Martin wants to be fighting potentially Verstappen at Mercedes, maybe others. What's the absolute non-negotiable quality they need in their lead driver?
Mental toughness. Someone utterly unbreakable. Because the pressure in a new rules era, fighting established giants, it's going to be immense. You can't afford question marks over your driver's psychological strength.
And this is where Alonso's value becomes almost impossible to replace, isn't it?
That was the strong conclusion from the source material. decades of experience navigating incredibly tough team situations like McLaren back in '07, proving his mental fortitude time and time again.
He's arguably the one driver on the grid you'd back to go head-to-head with someone like Verstappen, not just on track, but in the psychological games off track, too.
Absolutely. So unless Aston Martin can somehow guarantee signing another driver with that same proven combination of speed, experience, and rock-solid mental strength, and that list is incredibly short, letting Alonso go, seems like a massive gamble.
Especially heading into a crucial new rules era like 2026 and beyond, they need that known quantity, that experienced head.
He's their anchor in potentially stormy seas. Why cut the rope unless you absolutely have to, or unless you've secured an even stronger anchor?
Okay, let's try and sum this up. What we've gathered from this deep dive, largely thanks to the DRS zone analysis, is that Alonso's future is this complex mix. It depends on the car's speed, yes, but also on his own relentless drive.
And that paradox holds. Success might make him consider retiring, but true competitiveness, a shot at winning, that probably keeps him firmly in the seat. Voluntary retirement seems unlikely if the car is genuinely fast.
So the real question shifts maybe from will Alonso quit to can Aston Martin afford to replace him, especially for that vital post-2026 period.
And the analysis strongly suggests probably not. Not unless a Verstappen-level, mentally proven driver suddenly becomes available and wants the seat. The risk is just too high.
So the advice for F1 fans?
Just enjoy the path, as the source put it. His career is already legendary for its sheer resilience. Retirement will happen when it happens. Either his performance finally dips, or the team makes a strategic call.
And even then, you get the feeling he won't just disappear. Dakar. Le Mans.
Oh, for sure. That competitive fire doesn't just switch off. He'll find somewhere else to race, somewhere else to push the limits.
All right, that wraps up our deep dive today, digging into those Fernando Alonso insights courtesy of the DRS zone analysis. But here's a final thought for you to chew on.
Go on.
Is all this retirement talk, this back and forth, is it really just about motivation? Or is it Alonso, the master strategist, subtly reminding Aston Martin just how irreplaceable his unique blend of speed and mental strength is, especially with Verstappen potentially looming at Mercedes post-2026? Is he leveraging his biggest asset, that head of iron, to ensure he holds the cards right through to the end of that crucial rules cycle? Just think about the power dynamic when you know the team needs you.
That's a very Alonso-esque possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
Food for thought. We certainly hope this summary of the news helps you stay on top of the ever-shifting F1 landscape. Thanks for joining us.
And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, definitely check out the DRS Zone channel for more of their great F1 analysis. Don't forget to subscribe.